Welcome to Community Roundup, powered by Brad's Furniture and Appliances. This is the show we look at nonprofits, charitable organizations, and sports programs that make Fort St. John an area such a remarkable place to live. My name is Ed Hitchens, and of course, I am your host, and today we are joined by Matthew Rankin, who's the Director of Library Services at the Fort St. John Public Library. Matthew, thanks for taking a few minutes to speak with me today. How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Not too bad. Give us a little bit of history about the library in Fort St. John, how it started, and the history behind that.
Well, it's actually a good year to ask about that because it's our 75th anniversary. So the library started officially on March 1st, 1950. We were fully operational by 1951. We were started basically, and we still are, a library association. So mainly, there were a ton of groups involved, but it was largely the Legion and the Parent and Teacher Association. So basically, we've lived all over Fort St. John, and during our operations, we started at the Elks Club in their cloakroom, and then we moved to a shed that was just outside of there, and then we moved to what's now the Remax building, but the government building at that point. Then we were where Shoppers Drug Mart is now before the renovations, so in the Oval Reedy complex. And now we're at the North Peace Cultural Center. So
How long have you been in the culture since?
since 1982.
Okay.
Yep.
So, we all know about the disappearance of physical media as the digital age continues to grow. So
Yep.
tell us a little bit about the services that the library provides for the community.
So we still have our lending collection. So we have books, DVDs, audiobooks, although as you mentioned, it's more transitioning over to the Libby app. So we're focusing a lot more on getting collections that are a lot more focused on what people want, and also on our digital collections and programming. So we're trying to focus on providing services that people need in the community. We have, for example, photocopying, we have public computers, we have exam invigilation, stuff like that. So, and in addition to our lending collections, we also have like in-house collections like the iPads, TVs, game consoles, the iPads, I think I mentioned. We also have special collections, so our board games. We have a puzzle collection that you can just take out. I'm trying to think what else. We have our ukuleles and a ton of other stuff that I could list, but it would go on forever. So
It could go on forever.
Yeah.
Right? And do you see a lot of traffic for all each of these things? Or?
Yep. The physical collection still circulates a lot. Still our biggest draw, and obviously trying to do as much of both as possible.
Okay. You just recently had a book sale. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it was the Friends of the Fort St. John Public Library. So they're a society that it's a separate organization, but they're dedicated to fundraising for us. So they have a spring and a fall sale. We're basically in the concourse of the North Peace Cultural Center.
Okay. So how did that go?
It was exceptional. They did very well this year. I don't know the total amount that they got, but we had probably the most people in since been a very long time, at least since I've been director.
Okay. So how long have you been director?
4 years.
Okay.
So 2021.
Okay. So you just mentioned it because there's a separate society that helps out, but if somebody does want to help out with the library, how do they go about doing so?
We always accept donations. As a library society, we don't always have guaranteed funding. Things are changing a bit. We do have funding agreements with the city and PRD, but for projects and just general operations, we always appreciate donations. Volunteer-wise, we don't have anything specifically for library operations, so like the day-to-day stuff that we do, but events, always looking for DMs for our Dungeons and Dragons nights, which are first Wednesday and third Wednesday of every month. And the Friends, they're always looking for volunteers. Actually, on our website and on Facebook, we have a post. There's a QR code you can go to, and you can sign up with them because they're always looking for help. Just in generally, also, during our budget process or during just day to day, if you want to post something nice on social media or let people know about what we do, we always appreciate that.
Okay. So as the summertime approaches, kids are coming out of school. What type of programs do you have for the kids being outside of school?
So we have what's called the SRC, which is the Summer Reading Club. And basically that runs from Canada Day till around August 16th this year. So we have summer students that we hire for that. And basically there's a reading challenge, there's programs each week, and then we have a big party the Sunday of the last week. So that'll be, I think, the 10th or 11th.
Okay, and what is the summer reading program? These are the details about it.
So basically it's just a way for kids to keep their literacy skills up during the summer, because obviously they're not in school. And it's a way to encourage them, particularly with the reading challenge. Every week you have what's called a tracker. So there are stickers that come with this, and this is all through the BC Summer Reading Club organization. So basically they have a sticker for each week. They get prizes at the end. They get, they're put into draws and all that other stuff. So.
Okay, do you have like a lot of traffic during that time?
Yes, that's our biggest.
Yeah. Do you think it's how important do you think it is for kids to read?
I think it's incredibly important, particularly nowadays. And it's not just literacy with books. I'll also mention one of our close partner organizations, the Literacy Society. We share their message of it's literacy for life. So it's not just if it's reading books, it's about financial literacy. It's about, being able to like fix things, fix electronics, fix cars, being able to interact socially, stuff like that. So we're always trying to offer that as part of our programming as well.
You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Reading is fundamental.
Yes.
If somebody wants to know more information about the Fort St. John Public Library, what can they go about doing so?
So mainly we have our website, which is www.fsjpl.ca. We also have our Facebook and Instagram pages, which are currently our biggest social media sites. We have a YouTube page, Blue Sky, and there's a couple others that I've created just because I want to expand our contact out a bit more.
Okay. So how has social media helped the growth of the library?
It lets people know what's going on more frequently, and we can actually interact with people in real time. Whereas obviously prior to social media, it was posters, which we still do, and posts on our website. But now we were able to run a quiz in May for the 75th anniversary. So we were able to have people answer questions. I put it into my favorite website, which is the Spinning Wheel website, to randomize the winners. And yeah, that's been very fun. It's been very positive. So interacting with our patrons is always wonderful.
Okay, so you have a good time interacting with the patrons.
Yes.
All right. What if somebody would like to get a book inside the library? How do they go about doing that?
So you can register for an account. So we have, I think it's about 6 different types, but the main one is if you are a resident of Fort St. John or PRD areas B and C, you can just bring in a piece of ID that has your residence on it. And even if you just moved here, you live in the city or the region, and you don't have like your updated ID yet, you can just bring in like a lease or a piece of mail, like a bill that has everything on there, and use your old ID and you can register for it. We also have what's called more limited accounts. We have a specific name for it. It escapes me at the moment. But basically it just limits you how many items you can take out and how much stuff you can do within the library. So.
Okay. For the adults out there, what types of programs do you have for them? You mentioned the D&D night, but what else? What other programs do you have for them?
So we have our Crafternoon, which we also have one that's aimed at teens. But we also started Lego, an adult Lego club. So
okay, that sounds fun, everybody.
Yeah, just a social hour. You can bring in everything. Much like with the kids program, I like to just put stuff together and then badly write my name and Matthew Rankin 35 and then do that.
Everybody likes a little Lego.
Yeah, and it's a relatively new program, so we're still trying to get the word out on it. But yeah, if anyone has any suggestions, our programmer and I are always open to that. So yeah.
Okay, before I let you go, anything else you'd like to add?
I wanted to thank everyone who was able to attend the 75th anniversary and to all the support that we've seen over the last 6 months. We live in a great community, and I deeply appreciate everything that you guys do.
All right. That's all the questions I have, Matthew. Thank
you.
you very much for the time.
Thank you.
This has been Ed Hitchens for Energeticcity.ca for the Community Roundup. Once again, the Community Roundup is brought to you by Brad's Furniture and Appliances. And if you like what you see, you want to see some up-to-date content, click that like and subscribe button. We'll see you next time.